There's a moment, usually at night, when their name surfaces in your mind uninvited. You weren't thinking about them. You were just existing, maybe scrolling, maybe reading, maybe about to sleep, and suddenly, there they are. A memory, a wondering, a quick mental check of their social media that turns into 20 minutes you'll never admit to. Your rational mind knows it's over, has been over, should stay over. But something deeper keeps pulling you back to examine what was, what might have been, what went wrong. This isn't about wanting them back, not really. It's something more complex than desire, more persistent than nostalgia. Your mind returns to your ex the way tongue finds a missing tooth, repeatedly, automatically, without your permission. The brain doesn't like unfinished business. It's designed to complete patterns, to close loops, to make sense of experiences. When a relationship ends, especially one that mattered, your mind doesn't just file it away as complete. It keeps the case open, returning to review evidence, searching for understanding that feels perpetually out of reach. You find yourself conducting mental autopsies at unexpected moments. While making coffee, you suddenly remember that argument about something so small you can't believe it mattered. During your commute, you reconstruct conversations, editing your responses, saying what you wish you'd said. Your mind becomes a courtroom where you're simultaneously the prosecutor, defense attorney, and jury, trying a case that has no verdict. This repetitive thinking isn't weakness, it's your brain attempting to metabolize an experience that changed you. Every significant relationship alters our neural pathways. It creates new patterns of thought, new expectations, new ways of being. When the relationship ends, those pathways don't just disappear. They remain, like roads that lead to a city that no longer exists. What makes this particularly persistent is that you're not just processing the loss of them, you're processing the loss of yourself in that relationship, the version of you who existed within that dynamic, the jokes only they would understand, the references that became your secret language, the person you were in their presence, reflected back through their eyes. Your mind returns to your ex because it's trying to integrate who you were with them into who you are without them. It's attempting to create continuity between your past self and your present self. This is deep psychological work disguised as obsessive thinking. There's also the question of significance. Your brain is asking, if this mattered so much once, how can it just not matter now? The intensity of past feeling doesn't align with present reality, creating a cognitive dissonance your mind tries to resolve by revisiting, re-examining, attempting to downgrade the importance or understand the transformation. Sometimes you're not even thinking about them specifically. You're thinking about the feeling of being known, the comfort of established rhythm, the security of predictable affection. Your mind returns not to the person, but to the emotional state they represented. Safety, perhaps, or excitement, or a particular flavor of companionship you haven't found elsewhere. And then there's the unlived future. Every relationship carries within it an implied tomorrow, plans that were made or assumed, trajectories that seemed certain. When your mind returns to your ex, it's often returning to mourn futures that will never unfold. The trip you talked about taking, the apartment you imagined sharing, the problems you thought you'd solve together. These phantom futures haunt as much as any real memory. The digital age makes this return almost inevitable. They exist in your phone, in tagged photos, in shared playlists that Spotify occasionally cruelly suggests. The algorithm doesn't know you're trying not to think about them. The internet preserves relationships in amber, making it harder for your mind to accept that something so documented could simply be over. But here's what's crucial to understand. Your mind's return to this person isn't a sign that you should be together. It's not evidence of unfinished business that needs addressing. It's not your intuition telling you something. It's your brain doing what brains do with significant experiences. They review, they process, they attempt to extract meaning. The thoughts come in waves, sometimes gentle, like finding their hair tie in a drawer, sometimes crushing, like hearing a song that collapses time, and suddenly you're back in their car, singing badly, believing this feeling would last forever. These waves aren't setbacks, they're your emotional system slowly releasing and reorganizing attachment. Every return to the memory is slightly different. You're not stuck in a loop, you're in a spiral. Every time your mind goes back, you're a slightly different person looking at the same experience. Gradually, imperceptibly, the charge decreases. The story changes from one about them to one about you. Your mind will keep returning until it doesn't need to anymore, until the experience has been fully metabolized, until who you were with them has been integrated into who you are becoming. This isn't a process you can rush or force. It has its own timeline, its own intelligence. The returning thoughts aren't a problem to be solved. They're a process to be witnessed. Your mind is doing the slow, necessary work of transforming a living relationship into a memory, of changing present tense to past tense, of allowing what was vital to become history. If these words found you in that familiar spiral of memory and wondering, you're not alone in this midnight archaeology of ended love. This is a space where we acknowledge these returns without judgment, where we understand that healing isn't about forgetting, but about remembering differently. If you need company in this quiet reckoning, you're welcome here. Consider subscribing and stay with us.